just on young people, do your children suffer because they have the surname Farage?
Yeah, it's a very unusual surname. There's no more than a couple of dozen of us in the whole of the United Kingdom. So it's not been easy, always for my kids growing up. But mercifully, 3 of them are now in adulthood. But you know what kids are like in the playground, at school. And I guess it wouldn't matter, if I was a footballer or something. But just because of what mainstream media did to me for year after year after year. I mean, normally in politics, you'd have half the newspapers for you and half the newspapers against you. And for many, many years, I had every single newspaper and every single broadcaster against me. So it wasn't a very easy place to be.
They should have hired me in England. I would never be against you. Look, we've got a summit on in Canberra here. It's supposed to be about jobs and so on. It's most probably more notable for those who haven't been invited. But we have a massive jobs shortage here. And they're going to talk today about raising the immigration levels to 200,000. Now, you've said that in Britain, anger over the pace and rate of demographic change in your towns and cities is growing. And the argument that the Conservative government in Britain has been too slow in helping others from different parts of the world. Now, that doesn't hold up. But what is your comments? What's your argument in favour or against this migration issue?
Okay, 2 things going on here. Number one, the labour shortage is in every country in the Western world. It isn't just Australia. We've got it. America's got it. It's everywhere. Why? Well, in our case, we've got 5.3 million people who are not working, of working age who are not working. They either get signed off sick with the doctor, or they retire incredibly early, or they frankly just can't be bothered. They're happy to take the unemployment benefit, laze around and not do too much. So there's a huge problem. There is a segment of our young people who appear to be without drive, without ambition of any kind at all. And frankly, a benefit system, I speak for the UK now, but a benefit system that actually discourages people from going out to get pay that is not that great. Why would you go to work just to earn a few £1,000s a year more than you can get for doing nothing? So that's part of the problem. But if you think mass immigration is the solution to your problems, look at Britain. Our population has risen by 8 million since 2002. Mr. Blair was the sponsor of it. The Conservatives have continued with it. What's it done? It's made access to our kids getting houses very difficult. Access to doctors' services difficult. Getting your kids into local schools, very, very difficult. Congestion on our motorways at a level you can't even... It's changed the whole nature of our life. But the worst thing, and this is the one point please folks take on board, is this. In settled communities, people live in streets. Families know each other for generations. You know the Christian names of your next door neighbours. You have a shared interest in that community in dealing with petty crime or problems. There is a bond that exists between you. It's called community. It's like an extension of your own family. When, through mass uncontrolled immigration, you finish up with neighbours who don't even speak the same language as you, who don't have the same shared cultural interests, then what happens is people naturally become more insular and they worry about their own family, as they rightly should, but they stop caring about the rest of the community. And it's in an environment like that, with that vast demographic change, where suddenly you start to see litter, lawlessness, and a breakdown in community. And we are seeing that happening in Britain's cities because of this massive pace of immigration.